So I'm sitting across from her on this Zoom call, and I remember that she like put her head down as if she was mustering up the courage for what she was going to say to me, what she was going to ask me. And as a coach, I'm like, okay, I'm holding space for this moment. I'm not rushing her. I'm not like, what's going on? What's happening? I just give her the silence in that moment. And eventually she picks her head up and she looks at me and she says, in your professional opinion, should I end my marriage? And this was the first time I had been asked that as a coach. This was early on in my career. And so this is maybe like 8.5 years ago, within the first year and a half or so um, of me coaching. And it was the first time I'd be asked it. It was the first, but not the last. It was a question that came up often after that. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should leave? Do you think I should stay? And I took a beat, just like she took a beat, because that was a very vulnerable question. It was a very weighted question, and I didn't take it lightly. And then I said something that probably is a little bit annoying to hear, which was, I cannot tell you whether or not you should leave your marriage, even in my professional opinion. But I can tell you this: you're sitting here with me right now. You have not told me that you have a divorce lawyer, you haven't filed for separation, no bags are packed, you haven't moved, and you're asking me this question. And in you asking me this question, what I can say is that that alone feels like you're not ready to leave the marriage. There's still something here, there's still something anchoring you. Heck, you are here with me in this moment. And there's this kind of a bit of relief because maybe that is the answer kind of you wanted to hear, that okay, like I'm here, I am doing something, maybe there's some hope, because that's really what we're holding on to in those moments, are hope. And I'm going to share one of my moments that was similar to that, maybe a year before I even became a coach, in my own marriage, because they say like your mess becomes your message, or your mess becomes your message, your mess becomes your ministry, all those things, that alliteration, Eminem. And I was like, oh, and reflecting, I was like, that's real. But in those moments, we want to hold on to hope. That's what we have the hope when the season doesn't feel comfortable, when it doesn't feel good in our relationship. Like that's what we have, is hope. And then underlying that, we have the stamina and the endurance and the commitment that we have that could anchor us to what it is that we actually have to do to be able to move through the tough season that has us questioning the whole relationship. Like, should we just throw the whole thing out? Like, is this done? And but you hold out in hope. And I remember, and I've told this story before on social, but ultimately I remember my season of questioning, of like, had a loss, then got pregnant, had a baby, first time parents, filed for bankruptcy, um husband loses his job, he gets a new job in a new state, so now we are moving from the home we built for the last 5 years and the home we brought our tiny baby to. And this all happened so fast and at once. And when we finally get settled in this new state with this new job, our rhythm and our flow is completely off. And there's a loneliness in the relationship. I am on autopilot as a new mom, and lonely and feeling distance and overwhelmed, and he's overwhelmed and distancing himself and finding his ways to cope and escape and watch TV, let's scrolling through this. And it's really all bad. Sometimes it can feel that way, but there's usually moments or pockets where you feel like, oh, this feels good. This was nice. We laughed today. We had fun, over at such and such a place. We walked through the park. That was nice. We had this moment where we held each other's hands. Oh, we kissed. We did this. And you have these moments in between that feel good. And then you have the other moments that just don't. And the don't moments start to outweigh the other moments, and it starts to feel uncomfortable, and it starts to feel distance, and it starts to not feel good. And for me, I remember sitting on this red couch up in, because we were living with my mom when we moved, up in my mom's bonus room, and just being like, mustering it up to say, I can't do this anymore. And that's all I could muster up, because that's not very specific. But even in saying that, I'm like, he knows what it is that I'm trying to say. And all he could muster in that moment is like, I don't know what to tell you. And feeling like defeated, lump in throat, walked down the hallway to the bedroom, sobbing in a pillow, and being like, what is happening? How did we get here? And then when I'm able to get myself together, I send him this message that just articulates more, not about necessarily how I'm feeling, but what I desire for us and how he must be feeling. And and I just sent it, and I was finally able to go to sleep. And he awakened me a little later with his arms wrapped around me. And that was a turning point for us. Because when I said, like, I can't do this anymore, what I'm really saying, what a lot of us are really saying is like, I can't do this like this anymore. Like, I want to still do this, but I want to do it differently. I want to still do this, but I want to feel differently in doing this. I want to still do this, but I want it to change. Because when we feel unhappy, or we have seasons of unhappiness in one of our most intimate relationships, fight or flight kind of comes through, and we're in it. We're like, we're in it. We're gonna fight. Or we're thinking like, do we need to go? Do we need to catch a flight? Do we need to book it out of here? Has this run its course? What keeps us and what anchors us is that hope that that's not the case, that things can shift, that things can change, that things can feel different. Is that stamina and endurance that we have to keep going through the mess to get actually through it. And that is something really that's something that really solidifies our ability to move through the unhappiness, because we're gonna be unhappy. you know I was unhappy with the electricity bill that just came. Not for real, well, a little bit, but but just as an example, like, I really wish it was $30 less. I really do. I'm unhappy with this. Okay, I went to this restaurant and I ordered this plate. I'm not happy with how it tasted. Like, I spent my money and I wish it was better. Like, it's just, we're not in a constant state of contentment with what our current situation is. And yet there's a quiet and sometimes unconscious expectation in our relationships that we're going to have this sense of contentment that is continuous and consistent. And in our head, cognitively, I think we know, hey, that's not real. That's not what really happens. That's not how it goes. That's not how it happens. So yeah, there are going to be seasons in a relationship. Like, we've been together a few years shy of 20 years. 20 years, 2 decades. And I mean, obviously, I say that because it's a lot, even for me sometimes. But also, like, I know that people who have been married for a living, high school sweethearts, and like now they're in their 80s. They've been together for so long. There are gonna be seasons where you are in a state of discontent. And sometimes in those seasons, your fight or flight will kick in. And sometimes you'll wonder, like, is this it? Should I even stay? Should I even fight for this? And only you can answer that question. Do you still have hope that this can shift? Are you taking actions around it shifting? Do you want it to shift? Can you continue to move through this? Sometimes you just need support and someone to hold you through the moving through. And I say all of this to say, and I share a bit of my moment with you, to be like, it's not uncommon. And we have a lot of shame around it as if it means we failed. But the narrative of failure, that negative narrative of failure, we need to turn it on its head. And that narrative needs to be one of growth and clarity and understanding, because that's what it is. We are growing, we are moving through, we are gaining understanding, we are getting clarity where we can get clarity. And we are moving with as much intention as we can move in those seasons. And there is something on the other side of those moments, right? If we're taking action, if we're being intentional, there's something on the other side of it, and we usually come out better for it. You can't tell us anything in the moment because it sucks. But when you are able to move through that moment, if it's real, then that happens. And sometimes, here's real talk, sometimes you get the clarity, and the clarity says, yeah, it is time to move on. You have kind of lost hope in this relationship. Yeah, you do want something different. You realize that maybe this person is not capable in this season in our life to give you what it is that you need, and what they can give you is not, whatever your reasoning is. Sometimes the clarity leads you someplace else other than where you currently are. But you still got to get the clarity, right? That clarity is still growth. That clarity is not failure. Um, So at the end of the day, we we can be in those seasons and ask ourselves, yay or nay, go or stay, and we just have to really sit with what our answer is when we ask ourselves that question. And like I said, that was the first time, and I remember the first time because I was like, "Whoa, that's okay." But I got asked that question many a time after that. What do you think I should? What should? And my answer pretty much remains the same. Like, I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you this: the fact that you're asking the question means you're not ready to go. So let's see what we could do. Let's see how we can work through this. Let's see how we can get to the other side of what feels like it's in your way. And that's all we can do. I, hey, I didn't even do a welcome. So it's coming at the end. Welcome. Hey. Um, but I'm Imani. I'm here. I do these videos to really encourage us and motivate us and remind us to stay connected to yourself, to your partner, and to creating a life that feels good to you. That feels good to you. So if that's your vibe, please subscribe because that's what we do here. Let's continue this conversation. Let's continue on this road together. I appreciate you. For those of you who are like, yeah, I'm in this state in my relationship, in my marriage, where I want to feel more connected, where I want to work through our communication, where I want to feel like we have each other's back. And I want an intimate marriage and not just intimate moments here and there or on special occasions. And you want somebody to hold that space for you, then meet me down in the description below. And fun fact, it's not really a fun fact. This is more like it's a fun fact for me. I don't know, be a fun fact for you, but I just put 3 of my best digital products together in what I'm calling the Still Us Marriage Reset Bundle. I just put them all together so folks don't have to choose, like, do I want to work really on my communication right now? Or do I really want to work on connection and moving through certain obstacles that get in our way from us dating each other and enjoying each other's company? I don't know. I don't know. Like, now you don't have to choose. Now it's all together. I put all 3 of my best digital products together that accomplish that goal of helping you with practical, actionable steps for the 2 things that any healthy couple really needs. And that's being able to communicate through anything and being able to connect daily. So if that's something that you're interested in and that's something that you want and that feels good to you, then make sure you meet me in the description below. And for those of you who are here with me and have gotten to this far, to this point, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm on day, for those of you who know, I'm on day 99 today of my 100 days of daily posting on YouTube. This is how I started my YouTube journey. 100 days of daily posting. I have been posting videos on this platform for, as of today, as of posting this video, for 99 days. And tomorrow will be day 100. I have lots of reflections on my 100 days. I can't wait to share them with you. I'll see you tomorrow.